Hello, everybody, and welcome to a somber edition of the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen, along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops. Coach, the world lost a great friend when Toby Keith passed away on Monday at the age of 62.
Yeah, and I feel as doing this, you can express more than you can in a post. What this guy was like, such an amazing person. And you're right. I walked in and saw you, and I said the world has been cheated out of more time with Toby. Just an incredible talent, as big and strong and rough as he always was and truly was. He is also as soft and kind as anybody you'd ever be around. And just look at everything that he's done through the years. So yeah, it's hard to believe. We're here without him, and it's taken all of us. I'm not the only buddy who, I never knew a guy that had so many dear, close friends, and that everybody kind of looked to as a big brother, a guy you could always count on. So anyway, yeah, it's there's a lot of people that are and of course Tricia and his family, his kids, and it's a big loss.
I remember the first time we were talking about this earlier when I met him and he knew me from the Borat movie and just his conversation, and I'm sitting here going, Toby Keith's talking to me like I'm actually having a conversation with Toby Keith. And then through the years,
You say that, and that's what I want the world to know. He's worldwide, right?
Yeah.
He knows everybody. But he's the most down-to-earth, good guy, wants to be just the regular old guy. You could call him up anytime. He's always going to answer. Hey, he loved a joke, good joke. He'd laugh, big laugh. He'd tell you one back, hang up. But just a regular old guy with all of that talent.
Yeah, just an unbelievable human being. Tell me about the first time when you met him.
One of the first times that I knew of him when I arrived here. I listened to some country music at Florida before I arrived here because they were all Southern guys, and so I knew of Toby Keith there, but I didn't realize he's an Oklahoma guy. But I was listening to him at Florida, and then I come to Oklahoma, and I'm like, hey, he lives around. This is our guy. He's an Oklahoma guy. He's a fan, but I don't meet him and really run into Toby until I look out for the national anthem, and I posted this week. Toby singing the national anthem at our national championship game, 2001 national championship game, 2000 year, OU versus Florida State, and I look out, and it's Toby Keith singing the national anthem. And I kind of had a great feeling right then, like, that's our guy. I mean, that's kind of a little bit of an omen. And I even nudged somebody and said that. I go, this is good today. And I said, that's our guy out there singing. And then fast forward, the game's over. I run into Toby at the celebration party back at the hotel at the Fontainebleau. Everybody's there. Barry Cates, our old Orange Bowl buddy to this day, a dear friend, is putting on the best party. And Toby's there. And we run into each other and get to talking, having fun, stay up all night. And from then on, actually, he's busy, I'm busy. We started to run into each other more and more, and then became, of course, Tricia, Carol, all of us became really close friends and had a lot of fun times together. But that's when I first met Toby, yeah.
All right, and you've obviously been to his concerts.
Let me tell you another story. And then at the end of that year, the 2000 national championship, we get back after that game. A few weeks later, we're having that celebration party in the stadium for the team and for fans to come in the stadium. And Toby sings, How Do You Like Me Now? And I found it so fitting that song fit our seniors and juniors who had been on our team, had been beat down, hadn't won anything. When I arrived here, weren't talked about very positively. There was a negative whatever on the program, and then here they are as national championships, undefeated. And I remember, that song resonated with me. How Do You Like Me Now was popular at the time, and Toby sang it, and we played highlight videos from the season, and that was big for me. How do you like me now for all those older guys who had been through so much.
I absolutely love that song, and I loved when we were at Camping World Stadium for the Oklahoma-Florida State bowl game a couple of years ago, and he was sharing with my son Jake about that song and that album and how he had bought the rights to the album, gone over to DreamWorks, was releasing and really wanted to release that single. And the record label's like, so they released a couple of other singles and they didn't do very well. And so he went out on the road promoting that song, going to radio station after radio station because he was like, I believe in this song. And guess what?
And the album.
Yes, the album itself. He literally risked everything buying that album back.
He is basically his whole savings, his whole world. If that doesn't go, so he bought all his rights away from that record label to start his own.
Yep.
And that album goes #1. So talent, just incredible, but you don't think the good Lord's in his corner too, which he talked a lot about.
And I think that's the important thing is that this is a guy who loved the Lord with all his heart. He talked about sharing his faith with people over and over again. And while he was a conservative Christian, he got along with people on every side of the aisle. And that Stephen Colbert tribute was pretty powerful last night.
Well, it tells you everything about Toby. I mean, he related to everybody. And even though he had strong opinions, he respected other people had the right to have their opinions. That's America. And he was all about that. Just incredible, just the way he was that way, a true patriot. But also, he could see the other side and still embrace you. I mean, that deal with Stephen Colbert is as good as there is, just because of the two dynamics. Stephen even said it. He goes, two people, how could we be friends? And they were great friends.
That's right.
And he inducted Toby into the Songwriter Hall of Fame. I was lucky enough to be there with Carol, with Matt McMillan and Gina. We were all close friends, and we went to New York City for that. And it was incredible, and that's one of his proudest moments. I mean, that's something he really was most proud of is his songwriting. And so it was really neat for him, for us to be there, and for him, he really loved it. Funny story about Hall of Fame, I'm in Cabo with him several years after the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and I get a call from Steve Hatchell, who is the president of the College Hall of Fame. But I'm on the golf course with Toby. We're down there playing, just he and I, and we're in one of those halfway houses, filling up our cooler, of course, and getting whatever, going to the next hole. And I go, Big T, I got a call from the president of the College Hall of Fame. I go, something might be coming that way. And he goes, welcome to the club, buddy. So I thought, I'll never forget it. What hole we were on, we're smoking a cigar, and he says, well, welcome to the club, buddy. That was pretty good. And that's what Steve was calling about, was to tell me that I had been inducted into the College Hall of Fame.
And one of the things that really stuck out to me was he never stopped living.
No.
And you know this personally, being around him. I remember talking to him. I said, hey, is this, everything? And he was like, every day I'm going to be here. I'm going to live my life. Powerful, powerful words. What did you think as a good friend, as a best friend to him, to see how he fought cancer, how he still loved on people, he still engaged with people, and he still was Toby Keith all the time?
No, he's a big persona, but he's a big man. He's a strong individual. His faith, his family. He wasn't backing down from anything, and I promise you, he fought it to the last day. I know he did, and that's him, and he's a tough guy, and he battled it hard, and had his family by his side the whole time, and yeah, he did everything that he could, and that's him, and never once uttered how bad he felt, never once uttered a word you didn't want anyone to feel bad for him. Always had positive energy whenever you were around him. He's just special that way, a guy that had so much, And I talk about talent. I mean, you talk about a guy who can, he can do anything. I remember one of the times I'm on his tour bus early on when I first started hanging out more with him. We're on the bus. He's getting ready to go play at a big fair. All these people out there, 20,000, 30,000, just gigantic festival. We're on this bus, and I'm thinking, well, I know when I'm getting ready to go out for a game, I got to get a little bit, I got to get away from me here. He goes, hey, Bob. I'm like, let's get out of Toby's way. Let's get off the bus. He's got to go here in 5 minutes out on stage. He goes, hey, Bob. He patted me on the shoulder. He goes, you guys sit down and finish your beer. He goes, there ain't no defense. I'm going to win tonight. There's no defense out there for me. And I never forgot it. He and I laugh about it all the time. I said, okay, Big T. I said, you're right. You're going to win tonight. And no vocal cord, me, or he literally had those earplugs. They'd put them on him. He'd be hanging here. He'd literally grab his guitar, go right down those stairs, put them in, and go right out and play. I mean, I'm like, how do you do this in front of all these people? Never hit a bad note, and all of us. And again, he got so many friends in different times. We back porches or in Cabo on a back porch, and he always has, there's a guitar around. What do you want to hear? And it doesn't matter what it is. Rock and roll, a blues, he can 9.5 out of 10 times he's gonna hit it. He's like a lyric savant. He knows he could play anything, sing anything. It's amazing.
Other than How Do You Like Me Now, what was your favorite song that he ever sang in front of you?
Oh man, I think something, if anyone can find it, it's what he did it again, talking about talent. They have, he sings MacArthur Park in Carnegie Hall. They had a celebration for someone, and they chose him
to sing.
He goes, seriously, and everyone performed a song, and he's like, seriously, I'm going to sing MacArthur Park, though. Toby explained to me, I'm not a music guy, how hard all the different levels and the notes in it. And he sings it in Carnegie Hall and kills it. Doesn't miss a note, and it's high. It's incredible. It's amazing. And so anyway, that was pretty special to see that one. But all his songs are fun. Half of them fun. I tell you, the one my wife and I love the best. It's a little bit different, not popular. If I Were Jesus. Yeah, that's a great song for someone to look up and to listen to, especially at this time. Yeah, it's a neat song.
And now he gets to see him face to face.
Oh yeah.
I tell you, one of the great memories I had, a trip to Orlando. He's out at the hotel playing music for his fans. They didn't buy a concert ticket. They're like, this is Toby Keith, and he's sitting there, and we all know he's sick, but he's like, I'll go to 4 a.m. What do you want to hear? You were there. It's
absolutely.
Just like, this is what he loved. He loved to perform or to make people happy, and singing, and it was so easy for him. So I can't about everywhere we've ever been. If there's a live band, he's going to walk out and sing with them. We were on the streets. Oh, where was it? Not too long ago, and he's sitting singing right out in the street with a street guy. You saw him on karaoke in the back of a taxi cab. Just amazing.
He told me, the guy said, "Hey, you're pretty good." And then he looked and he realized. He goes, "Yeah." Yeah. I know this song a little bit. So anyway, no, he could get up with anybody, any genre. He could sing it. I love listening to some of the, I used to see him down at Cabo Wabo in Cabo with Sammy Hagar. We'd be down there with, anytime we were in Cabo with Toby, we were going to Cabo Wabo, and Sammy's usually there, and they would do a good set. And amazing. He could sing rock and roll, blues. I think he chose the right genre for sure, but he could do it. He could sing anything. And again, I just marvel at the talent, to be able to do that.
Yeah, I say it's the last time I got a chance to see him. I was with my middle son, Austin, and it was the last OU game I saw him, and I could tell that he was not well. But he loved on that kid and loved on everybody, in the suite.
Yeah.
He's that guy. And
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of times when people pass, right, they talk about the positive, and sometimes it just seems so overwhelming. We're not doing him justice. We're really not doing him
No, he
justice.
passed on so much love
such a great
and
guy.
happiness. So much love and happiness to everybody. Like I said, I got a million buddies that we are all buddies, but all tied to Toby. And every one of them feels like they're the best friend or the big brother. I mean, just close to him. He was genuine. He never had a really angry moment, or or at least that he let on. I'm sure there are one, but the point being, when you're around him, that never manifested. And again, just incredible guy, and what a relationship with Tricia. She's so special and incredible person, and the two of them together were fantastic. And yeah, she's a rock, and she's as tough as he is.
Unbelievable. 40 million records sold, 20 number one hits, 21 additional top 10 hits. But he's going to be best remembered for being a great human being.
A good guy and a regular guy. No one. I pride myself on that. I just want to be a regular guy, and he was absolutely that. He didn't care, big a star as he was, and he's as big as they come. But he just regular guy when he was around anybody, and that's all he wanted to be. And that manifest. It was special that way to be around him, because he was just like any of the other guys, and that's how he wanted to be.
What was your last conversation like with him? Do you remember it? Things that you take out of that last conversation?
Yeah, the last several were texts. He was, I think, it was just, whether it be lungs or whatever, having a hard time having conversation. So, just text, and we just, those are personal. Just anyway, he knew everybody loved him. For sure.
Amen.
Yeah, no
One
doubt.
and only Toby Keith. All right, we're gonna end on some positives. We're gonna talk about some cool things that have happened recently. First, let's talk about your son's performance. Boy, you got to be a proud dad watching him in his post-OU career as he prepares for the NFL draft.
Yeah, he had a good week at the Senior Bowl. A lot of people there to evaluate you in practice and one-on-ones and individual drills, and it seemed like that all went well from what I heard. I wasn't there for it, but I did go to the game, and the game is like a lot of all-star games. You have limited opportunities to make a lot happen, but he scored an extra point, catching a pass, and the other guys all did well. So it was a positive experience. Definitely, he got to interview with most all of the NFL teams, which is also a big deal. They put a lot of stock in the person you are, the competitor, the person. All of that, the man you are matters to them if they're going to invest in you. So from all takes of it, it seems like it all went well.
All right, again, Bob Stoops very humble. Let me tell you what some NFL scouts said. This kid can play in the league. He was one of the stars in practice all week long, and he did everything the coaches wanted and more. That's got to make you feel good when they're saying this guy can play at the highest level.
Well, I think what he's done the last several years shows that. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you lead
first team all conference, led the Big 12.
Well, you lead the league in receptions and TD receptions. You can make plays going against very good competition. So definitely he'll have an opportunity and a chance. And let's face it too. There's a lot of players that are his style of players, slot receivers and whatnot, that have played through the league for umpteen years and are still playing in the league. Yes. And so hopefully he gets with the right team where he has a good opportunity.
And very similar, you think of like Edelman, you think of Wes Welker. I mean, just guys that will go and outwork you.
Beasley, I mean, it goes on and on. There's been a million of these guys throughout the years, and you just got to get with the right team that knows and likes to work with guys like that.
All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that guy, Baker Mayfield, who finished in the top in almost every category this year, had better numbers than some people playing late, if you will, being first team this, first team that. He's all-pro, MVP of the All-Pro game there. I mean, you've got to be so excited to see. Here he is in the Pro Bowl and where he was a year ago, and he had to earn it. He had to go out there and earn it yet again.
Who knows how to do it more than he does? I mean, Baker's, that's him. He's the ultimate competitor. Don't ever count him out. And listen, he's talented. People can talk all they want. That guy's arm, he's incredibly talented throwing the football, scrambling, winning, finding the right person open. You know, the guy's only had 7 or 8 coordinators. He's had like 5 or 6 head coaches in 4 or 5 years. So come on, if that doesn't matter, and he's still finding a way to, to perform and to win and to play at a winning level. I mean, the guy's a winner, and I'll be, if I'm betting, I'm counting on him even next year to be better and for him to have a great career.
Yeah, so proud of Baker Mayfield and everything that he continues to do off the field, and he'll be welcoming a baby very shortly. Yeah. That's exciting news.
Congratulations. Absolutely.
Get your sleep while you can, Baker. We know it firsthand. All right, for Coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen saying so long, everybody. Have a great weekend, and thoughts and prayers again with Toby Keith's family.